guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Stoomboy, as always, for the MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about Grapplefest 14 then. So, Grapplefest 14, just under 2 weeks away. It's going to be Saturday, 3rd of December. Now, going to be at the usual place, Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Now, I keep talking about the venue and the atmosphere and so on. Anybody that's ever been a part of Grapplefest, whether it be a spectator or even a grappler, will all tell you the same thing. The atmosphere, there's nothing like a Grapplefest evening. So the spectators are on top of the action, which makes it exciting. As I say, everybody's very knowledgeable as well, so they all know what they're watching. And the grapplers come out and always put on an unbelievable performance. Every single grappler that's ever graced the Grapplefest mat. So this one's going to be no different. This card is stacked from the very first fight on the prelims right through to that main event with Jacob Couch and Owen Flanagan. So it's going to be an amazing night, another amazing night. Now, ticket availability, anybody looking for tickets, help your chosen grappler. They may still have some tickets left. And if you can't get any through your grapplers, through your chosen grappler, make sure you head over to either the Facebook page or the Instagram page for Grapplefest, and you will get the details through there. There's also pay-per-view on this as well, as there always is. Going to be on Fight TV. So again, head over to Fight TV and you will get all the details of the pay-per-view there. So now, my next guest then is going to be on the show. Amy, I hope I say this right, Derwanz. Derwanz, sorry, apologies. So,
no,
listen, I'm horrible with names, absolutely horrible with names. Everybody will tell you. So, Amy, coming out of AVT Leeds, Amy's an awesome grappler, absolutely awesome to watch. I'd say definitely one of the stars, female stars coming out of the grappling scene in the UK at the moment. So it's going to be awesome to see her coming back to Grapplefest, putting on a show. Going to be up against Sonya Retezan. So yeah, another tough opponent for Amy. But Amy just come off a great win there at the weekend, obviously Empire Grappling. So we'll hear a little bit about that as well. But Amy, that's an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me.
Thank you for thank you for having me on. I'm really happy with what you've had to say. It's really nice to hear that people are they do find it fun to watch. That's a big part. I do enjoy being a spectator sport. You know.
That's the thing about Grapplefest. I mean, I talk about this all the time. Whenever I talk about Grapplefest, it's always exciting matches. They always seem to put on really, really well matched matches as well. So Chris Thompson always puts on great matches. And again, this has been from Grapplefest 1 right through to this one. And I'd say this one is no different. And obviously you up against Sonya as another spectacular match that he's put together.
Oh no, I was excited. I've been against Sonya before at Blue Belt, like ages ago, like over a year ago. So I haven't heard much of her since. Not that she might not be doing anything, but sometimes you're just wrapped up in your own community of what you're doing. So when Chris had messaged me against Sonya, I was quite excited actually, because it's nice to get them names that, you know, I respect, like all the women that you get put against, you know, you respect them, because otherwise you won't be so happy to beat them. You know, you know, if they're easy, you won't be so proud of yourself. You know, it's a credit for me to go against them, and then if I beat them, then that's even better for me. You know,
definitely. I mean, you've been around for obviously a good bit, obviously a little while now. I mean, you'll remember obviously back at a time when you were going up against other females, it was mainly the same females that you were coming up against, or there were some comps you would go to, you wouldn't even have matchups. Whereas now the female scene, I mean, there's a lot of matches out there, and it's brilliant to see more and more women are coming into the sport as well, which is absolutely fantastic. We're seeing obviously the rise of Enyo putting on the all-female show. We have Grapple Queens over in Ireland and so on. So things are moving in the right way. Obviously not as quickly as we would hope for, but definitely moving in the right direction.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's more than from when I remember when I first started grappling, and I wouldn't even, to be honest, when I first started grappling, I didn't even really think about putting a gi on or anything. I did train with, there weren't many other women. I started mainly for MMA, as most people know. But it's like now I would have never, from me training with all the guys, have thought of like the women's open mats that I've been to or that I've hosted. I didn't think that would have been possible. I didn't think there were enough women in the country to have them all in that room together. So now it's brilliant to look from when I first started to just now, and it's like it really has picked up.
Yeah. We see it regularly. I mean, we do see it regularly. I mean, women's open mats, we're seeing like 30, 40, 50 plus women on the mats. Just enjoying jiu-jitsu, enjoying grappling. Some bring kids along as well. The kids get involved. I know like Julia Scardoni and so on obviously brings baby Tiago, and other women bring their kids as well. So it's brilliant to see. As I said, it should have happened a long time ago, but as I say, we're now seeing a lot more women being involved, and we're seeing shows like Grapplefest putting on shows where they're putting on. I think the most we've seen on a Grapplefest show was about 12 or 14 women on the show, which was unheard of. Yeah, it was unheard of a few years ago.
That's it. Well, you can only get as many matches as there are women in the sport, and now that. Because before we didn't have many matches, there weren't that many women. But now women are also realising that women can do it because they see other women do it. You know, it's like it's a snowball effect. It's only going to get bigger and better. Yeah.
And the women put on better matches. They put on a lot.
Girls can scrap for sure. They mean business.
Listen, we've seen that before. I mean, Grapplefest, I think obviously we had Fionn and Kendall, obviously had Fight of the Night. We've had Rosa Walsh a couple of times Fight of the Night. So the women always come and put on unbelievable shows, which is awesome. And they come out and enjoy themselves. You guys enjoy yourselves.
Oh, I love it, mate. I look back on all my pictures that photographers capture, and I'm like, I'm grinning in every single one of them. At least before the match starts. I mean, once afterwards, my face is all mashed up, but beforehand, I'm smiling.
Oh, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant to see. Tell us a little bit about your training then. So, I mean, obviously, don't give me too much, don't tell us too much, but how's training going for yourself at the moment?
It's been going really good, to be fair. I'm always training with Jake Goldthorpe. Shout out to Jake. He's a massive, another one on Grapplefest. I know he's a bit injured at the moment. I'm not sure if he's going to be on. So that sort of done me in for a training partner. Cheers, Jake. But other than that, no, I've got still plenty of really great training partners like Malik. A lot more smaller guys, fast guys. Yeah. Still have like women that I train with every now and then come for the open mats. And I have my ladies group. And a few of them, they're all, they're really good training partners, plenty of value. They're so talking through technique and their motivation and everything. It just really makes me feel like 10 times stronger and makes me want to do better because I know they're like putting time into me, I guess. So training's been going well, just all the time. Yeah. But with balance, not overtraining. I hope not.
Yes.
If I end up all injured and everything, I'll probably do too much.
But definitely a big shout out to the AVT women, the women's team. As I said, we see the pictures. I'm looking at some of the pictures, and the team's growing and getting bigger and bigger as time goes on. So it won't be too long before we see them all out killing everybody on the scene as well.
That's the thing as well. We had initially, it was one whole group of women, and then I had the younger ladies join in, and then because they found it more interesting having a girl, it's like, oh, a girl can do it. She's cool. So they just kind of pull towards you a bit more. And so then we've ended up having to split the classes now. So we've got a juniors and a ladies. So we can do two separate sort of styles on techniques. But the fact that some of them girls, the parents have told me that they used to have to beg them, come on, let's go training. And then as soon as they started in this new environment, they're like, we're going training tonight. And they'll be upset if they can't. And as soon as if that's the case, then job's a good one. Job is a good one.
Definitely. I mean, my daughter just started jiu-jitsu back in July. She's 14. And unfortunately, we don't have at the gym we train at, we don't have a kids class. So she then training with the adults, and she'll come in, and we do have some women in the gym. There's maybe, I don't know, half a dozen maybe a dozen at the most, but they're not always in. So she then comes in, and she doesn't care who she rolls with. She'll roll with a 40, 50, 60 kilo grappler right up to somebody who's 120, 130 kilos. So obviously they're not going to go crazy with her, but she absolutely loves it. She loves it, and she's the same. She entered her first competition in December, and she actually said to me, "Dad, can I go in this competition?" So like, yeah, no problem at all. So
if they're asking, then that's the only thing you could ever ask for. You don't want to be forcing these children to do the sport.
She's following everybody on Instagram. She's following. She keeps saying, "Oh, do you know this person, Dad? Do you know that person? Do you know this person?" I'm like, "Have you seen this video?" So she's at the early stage. If you remember, obviously being at the early stages in your journey, when all you did was watch videos and you looked people up and things like that. So that's the stage she's at the moment. So very, very exciting times for her ahead. Yeah. So you'll probably see her, no doubt, at open mats and stuff like that, because she's actually saying, "Dad, there's an open mat here. It's all women. Can I go to this one?" And she wants to go down to I think Julia Scardone's putting on the judo camp in January. So she's like, "Yeah, can we go down to Hull?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So yeah. So yeah, she's excited. So you'll hear, she calls herself Mini Stoom. All right. So you'll probably you'll probably keep an eye out for her. You'll hear a little bit about her, definitely. So, and what about you, Amy? How did you find out you were going to be on Grapplefest 14?
Well, after my match at Grapplefest 13, obviously Hannah's quite a well-recognised grappler. And with the match going so well, Chris was like, get you on again then, shall we? So I said, yeah, I'll be free. You just let me know a match. So then he just got back to me with a name, and it was just done from there, to be honest. Nice and simple, easy, happy. I was very grateful to get back on it when he said. I was like, yes, because it was a great stage to be on. So I was happy to be welcomed back on.
Definitely.
Privilege.
Listen, we always say, I mean, anybody, like, whenever you put on an exciting matchup, 100% Chris Thompson and the Grapplefest team are going to have people back. So, which is what we see. We see people coming on that have been on before, previous shows and so on. And I always, when I talk to them, it's always because it's an exciting match. The people, not just Chris loved it, but the spectators and everybody that watched at home on the pay-per-view absolutely loved the matchup. So 100% they were going to have you back on at some point. Yeah,
well, my first experience of watching jiu-jitsu properly, because I've never been much of a watcher, but it was watching EBIs, and that was like, I remember watching Gordon Ryan before he was the king, and I remember just thinking, like, this is cool, this sub-only format, this exciting, the points, and I do my competitions, and I understand that the points do say a lot about what your jiu-jitsu is, but at the same time, I love the submission only format, the exciting. That's what I watched. That's that's what I looked at and thought, that's jiu-jitsu. So that's what I wanted to, when I was training, I was just naturally like going towards that style of just being a bit busy. Sometimes it's not always the most efficient, and it can make you go around the block a few times, but once you get to the swing of it, then it's more of an exciting. It's an exciting style. It's exciting for me because sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do. I never have like a set game plan. It's always like, right, we've just got to submit them from somewhere, wherever that is. So be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many good shows and things to inspire you.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows at the moment as well. I mean, a lot of shows popping up left, right, centre at the moment. So a lot of great shows as well. I mean, Empire. We talked about Empire. Empire was an unbelievable event. They always put on great shows. So and then Grapplefest, Enyo's coming up again next year, which is going to be brilliant to see. So a lot of shows. There's a lot to pick from. See, like before COVID, you would only have maybe a few shows, where there now seems to be a show every other weekend now, which is brilliant for us.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had 4 matches in 5 weeks. So I had submission super fights, I had a weekend off and did my yoga teacher training, and then
Yes.
I just had my fight, my match against Libby, and then I've got Northern Submission Series against Rosie Clark, and then the week after I have Sonya. So it's brilliant. I mean, Northern Submission Series is a fantastic show that third time I'll be on it. You know, Cal and amazing guys. Brilliant show. I didn't expect what they came out with last time. So when they were like, get you back on it, I'm like, I will be there.
The point was awesome, very, very, and the MMA feel to it. Obviously, the walkout with the fire going off, and
do you know what
I mean, standing at the start of the stage. So it was a very MMA feel to it, but it was all part of the show, and it made the show brilliant. And the funny thing, we were worried about the match the last time being on a raised platform, because we were sitting there thinking somebody's going to get thrown off these matches. So
I was ready to get thrown off.
but, yeah, but the point was awesome. Point was really, really good. So this Saturday's going to be brilliant. I'll be down again, commentating again. So it's going to be very, very good night, really good night again. Another awesome lineup that they've put together. So we're looking forward to seeing you on that as well. And then what about 2023 then? So obviously, again, it's going to be a busy end to the year for you. The next couple of weeks is going to be, the last 5 weeks and the next couple of weeks is going to be very busy. So, but what would you like to see yourself do in 2023?
Well, I'm thinking of trying to get an MMA fight.
Right.
Non-grappling wise. So that is a bit unrelated to this, but I am an MMA fighter at heart, and K-boxer Amy can throw. I want to try and still see if I can still throw some hands. But grappling wise, I want to keep busy. I'm definitely not taking a back step on that. So it'll still be full steam ahead. I want to keep training, plenty more open mats. I'd love to keep getting on the sub-only invitational shows. They're my favourite format. So if anyone wants me on them, you can hit me up, because they are my favourites, and they're just so much less hassle than competitions, although Empire do great ones. So, and I'm an ambassador for Empire, so I'm always up for their competitions if I'm available, but as a general rule, you just don't get them. And to be honest, I'm eyeing up ADCC trials and things coming up. I'd like to think in the next year or two, see where I could go, but I don't like to plan too far ahead. I'm going to just keep training hard, and the matches just one after the other. Next thing you know, you're somewhere else from when you last looked. So I'm just going to keep training hard and keep matching up.
Listen, there's a lot of stuff. As I said, Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales. I mean, you're going to be spoilt for choice. Definitely 2023. There's going to be a lot of different promotions offering matchups. So definitely hit up Amy. Anybody want to get Amy on the show? Amy's awesome to watch. As I said, going to be on Grapplefest again, Northern Submission Series 3 times. Just had a big win there at Empire, and obviously Declan super fights and so on. So very, very busy, Amy. So make sure, if you want her on your show, get her booked up as quickly as possible. So
that's it. Let me know when I'll be there.
And then final thing for you then, Amy. So obviously you've been in the game for a little bit. Again, over the years, you've had some awesome training partners, some really, really good people in your life and your journey. But anybody you want to shout out to, any kind of friends, family members, teammates, sponsors, anything like that you may have?
Well, I've got my my family member slash sponsor, my dad, who's there at every match. He's the man that you'll always see carrying a water bottle, telling me the time. You've got so many minutes left. Keep working, and just being an overall just supportive, and he's a training partner. But I've got to thank Danny Mitchell, and Jay Furness, but mainly Danny Mitchell for just being a really, really, really good coach. And you know what, everyone at AVT, because it's such a great atmosphere. I want to be there. We do have we've got Roberto, there's Nath, there's Jake, there's Malik, there's loads of high level grapplers, and I tell you what, it's like they pace you, and everyone, no one has that ego where it becomes a problem. It's like you're getting beaten. It's like, right, well, how did you beat me? Because I want to get better. And then it's just a constant back and forth. Everyone's just bigging just giving each other like that motivation just to keep going. And it's just the best place, and I don't think I'd be where I am without the people and coaches that I have. So big thank you to them, and my little sister as well, because she has started jiu-jitsu and she's my student as well, and she's always there supporting me, telling me what to do. So big shout out to her as well.
Let me ask, obviously being sister, does she listen to you?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I've done martial arts for that many years, and we're actually, people don't believe that we're sisters in the aspect of how well we get along.
Yeah.
I think there was just enough of an age gap between us where we never had any, like that sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
There just wasn't any, and she's so different to me, and she's not. She's more of a lover than a fighter for sure, and I'm a little bit more of a fighter than a lover. But she enjoys it. She understands that she knows how hard I train and how many hours, and she knows because she's seen me, through every athlete has their emotional times, like nearly every time something's gonna go or whatever. So she sees all that, so she doesn't expect. She respects the time and effort, so she wouldn't ever be funny with me for like giving her instruction. She's like, well, Amy's done this for a while, so I'll trust what she says for now until I know any better. Sort of thing. So I'm like, yeah, you do that.
No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. You know yourself, you've probably seen it. I mean, you've seen brothers or sisters training, or brothers and brothers, sisters and sisters, and they tend to be like trying to out-compete each other. So it's good. It's good. She's definitely. You're the best person for her to take advice from. So obviously you've been around the game for a while. So she'll learn a lot from you. Definitely. So we'll no doubt see her on the scene competing at some point.
Well, she did say next year she might be on the scene. So watch out. There might be another Derwanz on the scene. No messing.
So there we go, guys. We've got Amy Derwanz, AVT Leeds, going to be up against Sonya Retezan. As I mentioned, Saturday, 3rd of December, so we're only, 12 days away now from the actual event itself. Now, ticket availability, anybody looking for tickets, hit up Grapplefest Facebook page or their Instagram, and you will get the ticket details from there. Again, check with your chosen grappler, whoever you're going to see, because they may still have some tickets available, so definitely get the tickets directly from them if they do. Pay-per-view, it's on Fight TV. Now, the pay-per-view details, standalone pay-per-view price is $14.99. But if you go for the monthly option, probably a little bit more cost efficient. It's only $4.99. And it gives you all the Grapplefest and Grapple Kings, as well as some other grappling events on there as well as other stuff. I mean, there's always something on there that people might be interested in watching. So guys, Grapplefest 14. Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Amy, thank you very much for obviously taking the time to speak to me.
Oh, thank you. I've enjoyed our little conversation. Thank you.
Definitely.
And I'm excited for the next 2 matches. So
yes,
get your tickets, everyone, whether it's from me or another grappler. You don't want to miss them. These next 2 shows coming up, they are going to be fire for sure.
They are. But listen, I'll see you Saturday. I'll be down on Saturday commentating again. So awesome event, Northern Submission Series, guys. Make sure they're there watching this on Saturday. But thank you again, Amy.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
Thank you. See you. Bye.